Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our chairman is unable to join us here this morning, so I'll be presiding as chairman today. The first order of business, take care of our minutes for May the 17th. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Tim has moved. Entertain a second.
I'll second.
Jesse is second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. We have nothing under the consent agenda. Under miscellaneous motions, we have 4 that has to do with our payroll. Move to authorize the director chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Michael J. Graves, Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Deputy, new hire, pay guide 40-12, wage $22.96, effective June the 1st of 21.
I'll move.
Jesse's moved. Entertain a second.
I'll second.
Tim is second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-0. Second one, move to authorize director chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Donnie Anderson, Sheriff's Office, Master Deputy, pay grade from a 40-13, wage of $23.31 to a 45.9, wage effective 23.48, effective May the 17th, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
Tim has moved. I'll second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Third one, move to authorize the director chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Alicia Breeze, Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Deputy, pay grade from a 35.8 wage of $20.06 to 40.4 wage 2018, effective May 25th, 2021.
I'll move.
Bob is so moved. Entertain a second.
I'll second.
Tim is second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Our fourth motion, move to authorize the director chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Cameron Hahn, Sheriff's Office, Emergency Dispatcher 1, moving from an intern to full-time, pay grade from a 25.4 to a 35.1, from a wage of $13.51 to $17.63, effective May 18, 2021.
I'll move.
Jesse has moved.
I'll second.
Tim is second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Also, right behind that, it has everything to do with the road and bridge, and my suggestion is just move it back to when Wayne will be here at 9:40. Next on our agenda is our SSO Executive Director, Connie. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Connie, I assume you're here.
I am
It's
here.
been some time since I've seen you. I apologize.
No problem.
And your last name is pronounced
Cahoon.
Cahoon?
Uh-huh.
Okay, could you please come on up? Connie is going to be with us about our 2022 budget, so
Yes.
is the mic on there, Connie?
It looks like it's
Okay.
green, so, except for, I'm gonna turn this a little bit down, because otherwise I.
Good morning,
my back.
good morning,
Good
welcome.
morning, good morning. Thanks for letting us be here this morning. I appreciate it. I'm Connie Cahoon. I'm the Executive Director for SOS, and it looks like we have a couple new faces maybe. So I'm glad to see everybody this morning and appreciate the opportunity to be here. SOS has been working in Coffee County for quite a number of years, and we've been the gracious recipient of, a grateful recipient of Coffee County dollars. SOS empowers and advocates for those affected by sexual and domestic violence, child abuse, and neglect. So we have several programs underneath the SOS umbrella, and I brought staff from those programs with me today to kind of talk about our services. So first up, I'm going to have Nicole Fry talk to you a little bit about our domestic violence sexual assault services. She's actually here in town. She has an office on Main Street. She's been the advocate in this area since around February. We've had a little bit of turnover in this area this year, but we have continued services. Even through the pandemic, we continued services. While things looked a little bit different, we did things through Zoom or social distancing. Our situation was we could not allow victims to be out there on their own and not have help. So we have worked through this pandemic and kept everybody safe as we could and continue to serve victims. So I'm going to let Nicole talk to you for just a moment.
Hi, good morning. I'm Nicole. I'm the SOS advocate here in Coffee County. I am relatively new to the advocacy work on this end of things. I have done advocacy work with ministry work in my past. I am local. I am from the community. My family been here since I can't remember. I grew up in Leroy. But it's been a wonderful impact on me personally, just being able to be here and advocate for our victims. Between the officers doing such a wonderful job responding to lethality calls and kind of assessing the situation and giving us a call so we can meet our victim where they are, whether it be at the hospital or at the police station or in a safe place. It's been wonderful to see the outcomes of our victims that have experienced such devastating hurt and come out on the other side looking better, feeling better, succeeding in their life. So it's been wonderful on that aspect.
I think that works for me. So she's working with victims. We've sent some victims to our safe shelter from this area, from Coffee County over to Emporia. We now have a new building, and our shelter is located in that new building. Our new building is at 1420 CAD Drive. We've worked the last 4.5 years on a capital campaign. Just got everybody moved in last week. That building is really close to the hospital, to mental health, to pharmacy, to childcare, to the Christian school. So it's in a really great area. Our shelter was in a secure location before, and now we've moved that into a known location because the bad guys knew where the shelter was. The good people from Emporia didn't. And now they can help us police our area. If there's something funky going on around, if they see something that doesn't look quite right, then they can call the police force and help us patrol the area and keep our victims safe. So we do serve a lot of victims from Coffee County, and you'll see that in some of the information we just passed out. The next person I would like to introduce is Ashley Davis. She's our Child Advocacy Center Director. We've been working over here with our Child Advocacy Center for quite a number of years. This year it looked a little bit different because the city closed up the place. They took over the space that we had our Child Advocacy Center and our forensic interview equipment. And so they've been coming over now to Emporia to do that. But I'll let her explain that a little bit more.
Good morning. I don't think I actually need the mic because I typically talk loud enough, so if it's okay. My name is Ashley Davis, like she said. I'm the director of the Child Advocacy Center. I'm not going to I'll be really brief with that. So all of our referrals come from either Department of Children and Families or law enforcement. So none of our services are self-referral as far as my program is concerned. But we do kiddos. So we see kids from verbal to 18 years old that there's reports of abuse. We have a team over here that I also do in Coffee County that's a multidisciplinary team. So we bring the sheriff's department, we bring the police department, we bring Crosswinds, we bring everyone in our community together so we can, those cases that we have solved, we can sat down, we can talk about them. And that way we're not repeating efforts. That way we're all on the same page and not having to make that family go through more. So that just allows for us to all come together and do the work for the families and for those kiddos. I love this county. I love being over here. The relationships I've made so far are incredible. I do certainly hope that we can find another place over here so we can have that physical location again, but if we're still serving from Emporia.
So we are asking for the same ask as we did last year, $7,000. We love being able to partner with you all. We all love being able to partner with everybody else in the county. And we've made some great partnerships in order to be able to help victims, whether it's a child victim, whether it's a mom, whether it's a dad with kiddos. We take pride in the services that we offer, the safety that we offer, where we walk with them side by side to help them become from victims to survivorhood, basically. Being a victim is very, very difficult, and in a small town, there's a lot of stigma that goes with that. And it's very hard for them to come forward. So when they do come forward, we want to be able to be there for them and support them all the way through, from disclosure of a child's abuse, clear through to prosecution, or from a victim's where she ends up in the hospital and law enforcement go there and call us to come help and be there for that victim, help them walk them through that process, whether it's a court process, whether it's safety planning, whether it's getting them getting into our shelter, whatever they need. We're here to help walk them through that process. So we appreciate the partnership that we've had with you all for years. We hope we can continue that partnership, and we love being able to be over here and provide the services that are so desperately needed. So thank you so very much for your time and your partnership over the last many years, and we appreciate what you do for us in order to help us serve our victims over here.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Connie?
Thanks for what you do for us.
You bet. We're happy to do it. So thanks so very much.
You know, the thing, this is the first time we've seen this year. You know, I've noticed your budget is cut 1.56 million. How's that affect your responsibilities and how you carry out your job?
That is mostly because of our capital campaign. So that's, because of the way they had to mark that on there, because of the capital campaign and the building. So next year will be more of a regular budget. We do understand that we're going to have some federal and state cuts this year, so it's going to be really difficult. We will be doing more fundraisers on our own, which then just takes more out of staff. But we are committed to serving clients and doing the best work that we possibly can, so we'll figure out ways to make it work. Good question.
Okay. I
Thank you.
noticed there's $1.5 million difference.
It's a big difference, but mostly
That's a 40% cut in your budget.
yes, but that's mostly to do with the capital campaign, because we'll have
I
like,
can tell some of it came from capital outlay last year.
Yes.
Different areas. So,
absolutely, so,
any questions again? If not, Connie, appreciate you three showing up, and
you bet.
good luck in everything you do.
Thank you so very much, appreciate
Thank
it.
you all.
Bye.
Next on our agenda this morning is our Economic Development Director, Bobby Skipper. Discussion on land acquisition, and I think we've all got something in front of us. And this is something entirely new for all of us, absolutely entirely new for me, getting into possibility of land acquisition. Talked about it very briefly before the meeting started, and so I'll just let Bobby lead into us. At what point do you think we need to have our county attorney join us to give us some direction on how to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Because we get into something I don't know how to proceed in, so.
But I understanding also that you need to move under the guidance of your council, I would ask that the commission allow me to come back and revisit this line item under your agenda after the 1020 CNF engineers planning update.
Okay.
And it may require that Mr. Wade may require that you go into executive session, then come out to act on this motion.
Yeah, we definitely need to be under his leadership,
Yes, sir.
Something that's new to the commission, so.
Yes, sir.
So you're gonna step aside, we'll go to Wayne,
Yes, sir.
and then, I'm not sure, Wayne's got quite a bit of stuff for us this morning, so I'm not sure how long that'll be, so.
Yes, sir. I'll be at your call.
Anybody have any questions, before Bobby steps aside?
One note of importance, you see that I prepared a reference as Project B. And so as far as public output, we'll continue to reference that as Project B.
I think all of us got this in front of us. So, okay, thanks, Bobby.
So thank you.
Wayne, we're gonna jump ahead a little bit,
Okay.
while Bobby steps out.
All right, good morning, Don.
Morning, Wayne.
payroll notices, what I have on this one is, I just had Angie check them because the new payroll and all of that, the numbers and everything. So those, everything that I have in the motions, those are the ones that we emailed you on. So, next one I have for handouts would be a hand motion. That would be for a teacher project. I'll visit with you on that. Well, so the map would go with the motion. This is, and I can hand them out if that's any easier. I'll give you one more, which is the construction zone. So do we have construction zone in there?
Oh, I handed the construction zone out this morning, she sent it.
Okay, great. All right. Well, then I'll just move right into mine. As you can see, there's several motions on my report. So, let's jump right into it. Okay, one road permit, 2 zoning permits. Nothing to report this time for the landfill. And as you see, I have several motions. This would be the fill positions. This would be, at the end of this, you're going to see 2 seasonal summer help. Then you're going to see also 3 full-time positions, which would bring us back up to our 52. That would be full staff. Has not been that way quite some time, but that's where we'd be. The next one is you're going to have is striping. These are bids that we'd sent out, or contracts we sent out for bids. And then also we have a dump truck with a dump body and assorted culverts, and then also assorted tires. So with that, I leave it for you, John.
As you can see in our notebook here, Wayne has brought several different motions to the table, so we'll proceed with them, and please ask questions if you have a question. Start out with motion 2021-17, move to accept and sign CP2 for Travis Stratton. Summer help subject to regular IPP wage classification 5A with a wage of $12.73, effective May 24, 2021. Number of hours worked not to exceed 1,000, and for the Caleb Johnson. Summer help subject to regular IPP wage classification 5D with a wage of $13.51, effective May 24, 2021. Number of hours worked not to exceed 560.
I'll make the motion. Cale has been with us before.
Yes, sir. Yeah, a couple of years. He's been down to landfill. Actually, him and his brother at one time.
I'll second.
Okay, Tim has moved. Jesse is second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Motion 2021-25, move to review and approve the CP2 for Caitlin Keller, new hire for heavy equipment operator in the signs, seating, mowing crew, full-time subject to regular IPP wage classification of 35A with a wage of $17.63, effective June 1st, 2021.
She's currently working for us this summer.
Why is that heavy? Does that work?
That's the
require heavy
position.
equipment?
Yeah, that would be the, basically the boom mower. That's the position that we have for the boom mower. Now, of course, she's working in the asphalt group right now, and she'll continue to work there as we need it. But then eventually she'll be over in the boom mower.
That's on the new job descriptions, that's how they got it labeled, so.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll move.
Jesse has moved.
All second.
Tim is second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Motion 2021-26, move to review and approve the CP2 for Nathan Hollinger, new hire for construction trades person in the special bridge crew, full-time subject to regular IPP, wage classification of 35A with a wage of $17.63 effective June the 1st, 2021.
He's actually had previous experience in Lyon County, so we're able to bring him over, but he lives actually, down by the boat.
Well, you're starting him out at the 35A, so
I'll make the motion.
Jesse has moved, entertain a second.
Oh, second.
Okay, I'll give Tim second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried 4-0. Motion 2021-27, move to review and approve the CP2 for Dalton Stuckey, new hire for mechanic in the shop mechanic crew, full-time, subject to regular IPP wage classification of 35A, with a wage of $17.63 effective June the 1st, 2021.
I'll move.
Bob has moved, entertain a second.
Second.
Jesse is second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Motion 2021-31. Based upon the recommendation of the county engineer, move that bid received May 12, 2021 by Straight Line Striping in the amount of $19.37 for both edge striping and centerline striping for cost of material per gallon and application for striping project S2101-C to be paid from the Road and Bridge Fund. And as you can tell, it's the only bid we had, and Straight Line's been doing they've been doing all of our striping for a number of years anyway.
Very satisfactory. Currently right now what we have is a 4-inch stripe. What you're gonna see next year is probably a 5-inch stripe. So price will go up just a little bit. And the reason for that is actually KDOT standard, federal highway standard, is starting to change the width of the striping. Seahawk, the reason why we listed Seahawk is they actually did receive basically the bid documents, but they did not bid. We call others as well, just to give them heads up, but if they don't receive the bid documents, we don't list them. And once again, Straight Line was the only one that had bid on the project. Our estimated cost, of course it is per gallon application rate, but our estimated cost is just under $94,000.
Is that much of an increase over last year, Wayne, or remember what last year?
That is a slight increase, but we're starting to see a lot of this. You know it as well.
Yeah.
As far as material, supplies, stock, paint is even being a factor as well. The raw material that are needed.
I noticed your 2-hour striping was a little bit narrower. I thought it was by just driving, so I got the tape measure out one day and measured. And
oh, yeah.
I seen it was 4, not a 5. But
It's still 4. We were able to do that on our rural roads for the most part. We own our striping, but at the end of the day too, we try to meet the standard of the state.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Jesse's moved.
Oh, second.
Tim is second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried 4-0.
And I will also bring the striping on Old Highway 50 from Fauna going to the county line up with this contractor to get a bid for you later. So some of the discussion we had as far as narrowing up the road, edge line. So, okay.
You want me to just go ahead with 2021-33, or you want to?
On that one, basically that's the truck. We talked about this on the truck itself. T85 was the truck that basically the motor went out of it and we brought it back in parts pretty much. We also found that the trade onto it, or they were proposing the trade, and that's why you don't see it in here, is they had a trade of $15,000. But we're seeing the use or potential use of that barrel bed to be something that we're going to be able to use within the fleet. So we're going to take the bed off, we're going to trade another bed back onto it, and then at a later point, put that one back up for auction or bid. But But that's what we have right now at this point. We also too is, we received some information that's basically helped us do a little bit more research, and Pack Car was one of the suggestions. The motor on this particular engine is a Pack Car, but the transmission is not. Transmission is an Allison. But they found out that when we asked about the Pack Car, as far as trying to get the transmission and motor to be the same, so it'd be like a one-stop shop for any type of repairs as well. Found out that the Pack Car was actually for over-the-road type transmission. It was not for basically our dump trucks.
Vocational.
Yeah. So that's what we found. So that was our best bid, as you can see, basically from the government pricing, purchasing alliance of Sourcewell is our Kenworth. It'd be a Kenworth truck with an Allison transmission, and the pricing on that would be $123,436.
Okay, the motion, these are getting into lengthy motions, 2021-33A. Based on recommendation of the county engineer and approval of the county attorney as to form to waive the purchasing policy as to competitive bidding for good cause, said cause being admissible. Program pricing was Sourcewell, formerly National Joint Powers, NJPA, Government Purchasing Alliance with Coffee County, 118463, and to approve the purchase of one 2021 T880 series conventional Kenworth truck with an Allison transmission as per municipal program. Pricing in the amount of $123,436, and to authorize and direct the county engineer to sign all documents related thereto. Funding for the purchase will come from 2021 Public Works Equipment line item. Entertain a motion.
Can I correct one thing? Can we call that general fund, public work? Correct it to say general fund, public works, equipment line item,
Okay, good old friends.
general fund.
That's that. Good. Okay, I didn't think that sounded right. General fund. Okay. So I'll make that correction.
Does this cover warranties in the pricing?
It would be the standard warranties.
Standard warranty.
That would
Are
come
you
with
guys
the truck.
opting for additional warranties?
We did not.
You did not.
What we're finding in the Sourcewell such as that, I mean, that, it's not to say that we cannot, but it's going to be above basically the Sourcewell pricing,
Right,
which would be the government pricing.
right.
We can come back and ask for what the warranties would be for Kenworth as far as extended warranties, and then come back to the commission and propose that.
I mean, personally, I think the warranties are a very wise decision, especially with all the after treatments. You can warranty those motors up to like 600 to 700,000 miles on the after treatment. If you lose a turbo and it fills the particulate filter with motor oil, you're looking at $10,000 plus to replace that filtration system. And I think your warranties, grand total for your HVAC and everything else is going to be probably somewhere in the $10,000 range. You know, so, you know, an air conditioner, after your base warranty is over, you can dump $2,000 in an air conditioner system at a drop of a hat. And I think the HVAC warranty is like $800 for like 5 years, 500,000 miles, something like that. So your years are going to outweigh your I don't know. It's just something that I would entertain because it might help the issue that we had with the Max Force motor.
Well, here's the warranty on this particular one that we're looking at. So base warranty for a Pack Car MX-11 and MX-13 engine, 24 months, 250,000 miles, 6,250 hours. Base warranty standard service heavy duty, 12 months, 100,000 miles. And a 24-month truck tech subscription for Pack Car MX engines. So
Right. So your time's gonna expire before your miles ever do, more than likely.
yes, sir.
So if you can extend those in an extended warranty, you know, that's gonna benefit your
We can check with Kenworth.
We might check with Kenworth.
Is DA80, are those, that's the same style that we have now, or the Kenworths?
As far as the Kenworth, yes.
I'm just trying to picture what this truck.
We had, well, we were, I think our last one was the T800s.
But same style.
Yes. One of the big things that we're finding on this is they always want to change different things. So we're trying to deal with, we have our pumps on our last one is actually our pumps was on the front bumper. And so it's the drive shaft basically connected to the motor. Now we're having to make adaptions to the transmission. Basically run our pump system, our hydro adapt system to adapt to it. I believe that's one of the things that they're looking into. So.
Well, the question that Jesse brought up, that's something you could explore and bring back to us at a later date.
Yes, sir.
Because chances are you've got at least 12 months, almost a guarantee on there, on everything. And you may, if that's something we start to change or adopt, that may be something you want to take a look at on some of the later models we just bought the last 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
If the premium and the coverage is right.
Yeah, and I think we're meeting Wednesday, are we not?
Yeah, we're meeting Wednesday.
We can visit with them, if I
Think-
can have some information, I can visit with you.
I mean, that basically doesn't change the motion.
That doesn't change
No,
nothing here.
It'd be an addition
In
to
addition
that.
to that,
So that could come in anytime afterwards.
right.
But
And I
it'd be
would
some
strongly,
information we could research.
I would strongly recommend with all the stuff that they've got on these trucks right now, that take that extended warranty as far as you possibly can. It'll help. And, you'll get the payback within a short amount of time. Chairman, I move.
Back to the motion, any other, entertain a motion to approve?
I move.
Jesse has moved,
All second.
Tim is second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, motion carried 4-0. The B part of 2021-33, based on the recommendation of the county engineer and approval of Coffee County as to form to waive the purchasing policy as to competitive bidding for good cause. Said cause being municipal program pricing with Sourcewell, formerly National Joint Powers, NJPA, Government Purchasing Alliance for the Coffee Counties 118463, and to approve the purchase of one Henderson 16-foot Mark E tandem axle dump body as per Sourcewell quote number 148622 in the amount of $60,917. To include hot shift PTO, drive, hydraulic pump, ILO crankshaft driven, and to authorize and direct the county engineer to sign all documents related thereto. Funding for the purchase will come from the general fund, Public Works General Funds equipment line item. General fund also on that.
Yeah, general fund, public works equipment.
Okay,
fund.
all right.
Thank you, Don, for catching that.
Entertain a motion.
I'll move.
Jesse's moved,
All second.
Tim is second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carried 4-0. Let me just keep going, Wayne.
That'd be fine. The next
Okay.
motion is basically the culvert pipes. So what we have there is we have 3 bidders, Metal Culverts, J&J Drainage, and Welborn Cells. Welborn Cells was low bid. So,
Motion 2021-36, based upon the recommendation of the county engineer, move to find that the bid for assorted culvert pipes to be awarded to Welborn Sales Incorporated. Olathe, Kansas has the best bid and to purchase the same for the sum of $82,481. Funds to be paid from the road and bridge fund. Also move.
Second.
Jesse is second. Any discussion?
Are these the same pipes from all places? Or
Well, they're
is
strong.
is one any better than the other pipe?
no, they're all spec to be
They're
the
all-
same.
okay.
Yes, sir.
I think Welborn's where we got them from last year, if I remember right, maybe more. I
We've done a lot of work with Welborn.
don't recall for sure. Okay, any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried 4-0.
Wilburn one used to be a payroll.
Well, Welborn, no, actually, it's always been out of Salina, and now he's Salina, Kansas City area.
Okay.
J&J, I believe they're out of Hutch area. Metal Culverts Inc. is out of Missouri.
We used to buy from Payola, didn't we?
Used to be a J&J at the Payroll,
Okay.
I believe it was.
Okay, the next one has to do with tire purchases. Do you want me to just go ahead and start reading this, or you want to?
That's a big one, so yeah.
Well, it's a big one, and it's hard to follow.
It is hard to follow.
It is hard to follow, but,
But most of these are all local, so that's the nice part about it. Pumps Tire was the only one that's not local, and you'll see basically a few of the parcels were basically for pumps, but everything else was local as well. And we took in consideration the 5%. So even though anything that was awarded to pumps, it was checked within the 5% as far as compared to a local.
okay.
So.
Motion 2021-37. Like I said, this got some length to it. Parts that's a little confusing, but it does tie into the spreadsheet at the bottom. Based upon the recommendation of the county engineer, move to find that the bid for assorted tires on May the 19th, 2021, parcels 1, $2,952, partial 4, $3,049.44, partial 5, $1,440, partial 6, $3,080, partial 7, $790, partial 10, $620, partial 11, $1,767.52, be awarded to Bar Tire, Burlington, Kansas. Partial 4, $1,668.96, be awarded to D&S Service Sellies, is that pronounced Sellies, Jesse? Lebo, Kansas. And parcels 2, $7,156, partial 8, $8,130, partial 9, $8,000 be awarded to Pomps Tire, Topeka, Kansas. These bids awarded as to the best bid and the purchase same for the sum total of $13,698.96 to Bar Tire Incorporated, $1,668.96 to D&S Service Sellies, and for the sum total of $23,286, and to Pomps Tire. Funds to be paid from the Road and Bridge Fund.
If I may, Don, on that motion, when it said number 8, that's $8,130. That's a misprint we have on the sheet. So, and I believe you did say that correctly, but it's $8,130 is that amount for parcel number 8.
Yeah, there's an extra number in there.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure how I did state it.
I think you got it right, but I just wanted to make sure I got that clarified.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Tim has moved.
Second.
Jesse is second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. 4-0.
Okay, the next one I have, this would be a hand motion. This would be the one for the detour. And so just to explain the detour just a little bit, or the reason for the detour, is there where you can see Logan Cemetery, you'll see a road closure, but in that area, and it's just south of Logan Cemetery, it's in that area, there's 2 36-inch pipes that go underneath that asphalt road. One of the pipes was actually scheduled for the liner pipe to be placed in that pipe, but after further review, the pipe is in such condition that you wouldn't even be able to put the liner pipe in it. And so what we have to do on that one is take the pipes out and then replace the pipes. So we have to open cut that road. We don't like to do it, but we're going to have to open cut that road to go ahead and replace those pipes. Now, a person says, well, why are we doing that now? Why does it need to be done now? It's because we have that asphalt project that actually is going to be starting first part of July at this point. So we're going to have an overlay on that one. And also too is once we do that open cut, once we basically backfill it, we'll have a little extra asphalt from that asphalt project that's going to come back and fill that patch as well. So that's all in play. From that, then what we have is we expect the work to be done within a week, hopefully. We'll pick a week that we have, good weather to come in there, open it up, or dig out the pipe, replace the pipe, compact everything back in place. And so what you have is the road be closed on Quail Road, north of 11th. So between 11th and 12th, the road would be closed for that period of time. The detour itself will be Quail Road from 11th to 10th. And then on 10th Road from Quail to Shetland. And then also on Shetland from 10th to 12th. So that would put traffic back up. One thing just to note, actually 10th Road, 10th Road and Quail Road is actually what they call an RS route. It's a rural secondary route. It's one of the few routes that we actually have that is not an asphalt route. I mean, your rural secondary roads, most of the time are asphalt routes, but this is a gravel route. It's been that way for years. But that would be the detour. That's what we're looking at.
Time frame and being changed or shut down?
Well, a week is what we expect the closure time to be. As far as starting, we're going to be looking at weather. We'll get everything prepped and ready as much as we can. We'll saw everything, get it sawed, get the material out there waiting. And we're also going to contact the local co-ops and let them know about the detour at the time that we close it. That's the best we can do at this point, as far as notification. Also too is you'll find that there's about 3, maybe 4 homes on that route that will get dust control part of the detour. And so that's our policy. So with that, what you'd have is the motion is approving the detour, and this is the map. That would be part of the motion.
And why are we not just taking them down to, on 11th to Reaper and then back up to 12th?
We found that road not to be basically suitable for the traffic. We've also added some gravel in that area as well just here recently, but found that road not to be suitable for the traffic that we're going to see. You're going to see a lot of truck traffic, semi-traffic.
When this weather opens up, there's going to be a lot of farm traffic.
Yes, sir.
May not be semis with grain, but there'll be a lot of traffic with heavy equipment for sure. So. Motion 2021-4, request authorization to designate county detour for culvert repair. Request authorization to designate a county detour route for culvert repair project SB-2125 on Quail Road, 11th Road, and 12th Road. That doesn't say too much, but I guess that probably with the map and everything pretty well explained, so.
Yes.
Entertain the motion to approve. Also move.
All second.
Tim, a second. Any discussion?
Did you read the motion or did you just read it?
I just read the top part to get authorization for the detour.
What we're doing on the designated is the recommendation for the motion is request to designate a county detour for culvert repair SB 2125 project on Quail Road from 11th to 12th. The county detour route is Quail Road 11th to 10th, 10th Road from Quail to Shetland, and then Shetland Road 10th to 12th, and that's reflected on the drawing.
Yeah. Well, we need to take action twice separately. I'm not real sure.
What happens is when I do these hand motions, you don't normally see this in the motion page.
Okay.
Yeah, you just see the motion.
On the same motion.
Okay.
But
Yeah, they're tied to the same thing.
they're the same thing.
Okay.
One's just an identifier to indicate what's going on. The other one's the motion itself.
I'll pull my motion back on that first one. Tim, that work for you?
That'll work.
Okay, this just go to the motion as stated, 2021-40. Based on recommendation of the county engineer's request to designate county detour for culvert repair SB 2125 project on Quail Road, 11th Road to 12th Road. The county detour route is Quail Road, 11th Road to 10th Road, 10th Road, Quail Road to Shetland Road, and Shetland Road, 10th Road to 12th Road. That was clear.
I'll move.
That's clear as mud. I didn't mean that the way that sounded. Wayne.
That's fine. That's fine. That's what it is right now. It's muddy. It's a muddy road out there. I'll tell you.
Okay, Jesse is so moved, entertained.
All second.
Tim, a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried 4-0.
Don't have to worry about any dust control today.
Or this week.
Or this week. So and actually that leads into some of the challenges that we've had as we're going into construction zone. As you know, we try everything we can to go out and start mowing the roads that leads up to the cemeteries. But we're finding that to be a challenge, obviously. I mean, even folks trying to mow their lawn. I mean, I even have that problem myself. But we are finding that to be a challenge on the roads to get the mowing done. We're also finding secondary ditches that are occurring on the roads. We're patching in, spotting in what we can. So this is going to be one of the few times that we may not get to all the cemeteries this year. But if folks would kind of reflect a little bit, it has been challenging for everybody with the rain that we've had. So, yes.
On some of the more isolated cemeteries, can we take the boom mower and just mow one strip right along the road?
We're doing what we can with that too. I hate to make that promise because some of that where we're losing our edges, it could be soft enough even for the boom mower to have some difficulties. But I would say that we're doing everything we can, get our blade operators out there mowing, and they have been where they could, but also too, we're finding some challenges there. We also have 3 blades down. One of them that you know about is the John Deere. That's a transmission replacement. They were actually testing it out here last week. This would be Chris Gifford's blade. We also have a blade, a spare blade, 670, the rear main seal is possibly out of it. We also have John's blade down in Leroy area that the cooler is out. But the extra spare blades, all of our blade operators have a blade.
I was going to ask you what they were doing during their shutdowns.
Well, they're mowing, but they do all have a blade. So we're still taking care of roads, keeping in mind we're patching some of these roads too. Where we cannot mow, we're actually patching the roads, adding a little bit of rock where we can. So there's plenty of work out there, and the guys do have the equipment, but we are facing some challenges. And so some of it is equipment that's down. We have flooding at this point. It's about approximately 6 to 8 locations. Most of it's around the north of the Leroy area. That we have 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th roads. They have barricades in place sitting along the roads. As you know, the water comes up, the water goes down. We even had that instance over on Contour. We're looking in on that one too, as far as structure, if we have a pipe or not underneath that road. But we're having water come up, water go down. We have 2 locations that the water is over the road, 16th between K and L, and then Gardner between 12th and 13th. Now these are all posted too, but we're doing additional measures, and that's actually placing some additional guard or additional barricades at those locations. So, and call outs, we had Thursday evening, we had a call out over on Jacobs Creek. The alarm was going off. So actually when that happens, both of the pumps are actually working. It's reaching a level that needs to be addressed. But both pumps were working, the water did go down, the alarm did go off, we were able to shut that alarm off. We also had a call out on Saturday over on First Road, over there east of Wayside. I also went out, Jeff and I both went out Saturday, he went down south. I checked a few roads. 16th was still looking okay, this is the 16th over by Hartford. Contour was looking fine as well, that was open. But over there by Hartford, we have that one bridge, that one structure. The water was still about 5 feet below the opening of the structure, so we're fine there. But once the John Redmond starts backing up, then that structure basically is covered. But at this point, we're still fine. But we are watching the roads as we need to. We are hauling cold mix at this point from Ottawa, so that's being brought down to the shop, being stored. Also, too, we have some ditching, if we can, when we can, as you can see on there as far as the report. 11th from K to L, and then 11th Terrace, Links Terrace. crack filling if we can. Once again, it's all basically weather dependent. So that is construction zone. I feel like I'm missing something, but I think I got
I
everything.
think you got everything covered, Wayne.
So, Jim and Saban will be here. If they're not, they may be, or they had planned to be here. And so, they'll be here probably after the break. And then at that point, they'll be giving you an update on the community planning. And so, he's gonna have a PowerPoint, and that's why we have the TV out. Brad got us the TV.
Okay. The time frame for Bobby Skipper has been moved to after you. Is CNF engineers, does that specifically need to be at 10:20?
I would say that they're probably scheduled more for 10:20 at this point. I can see we're way ahead of
If
schedule.
we get back with Bobby, we don't know how long that's gonna take.
I would say that's fine.
So if it goes to 11 o'clock before we start with CNF, that would work.
At this point, I'd say that's where we're at.
Okay,
Do you want me to call Bobby back?
I'm sorry.
Do you want me to call
I'm
Bobby
just
back?
gonna ask, yes.
Well,
Wayne's available.
Wade, well, we gotta see if Wade's available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm imagining probably meeting again.
Bobby's supposed to be visiting with him, so.
I can, if you don't mind, I can give CNF a call
I
and see
give him a
where
quick
they're
call
at.
and I'd give us an update on that too.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions for Wayne before he steps out?
Okay. I'll get over to Jim here, we'll figure it out.
Bobby's gonna see where Wade is and then he'll be down to tell you.
Okay,
Hey, Jim, I just checked into their little head schedule, and I didn't know if you guys were, okay, all right. Well, come on in then. All right,
Let's take a break before they come in then.
okay,
Have a
CNF,
break right now.
yeah,
sounds good. What do you
they're
think?
here. If you guys like to, like you say, if you want to take a break,
You're waiting on everybody to get here?
and then, they're just right outside, they'll come down and we'll get everything hooked
Well, in
up.
that case, we go with that first before doing Bobby.
That'll
Let's take
work.
a 10-minute break.
No, Don, these for Tom to sign, or do you just sign those since he's not here?
Okay.
That's how he has his name.
Is that what I'm signing here?
Let's see what that was, I'm not sure what you.
Those are the ones from the sheriff's office.
What if we got a duplication?
And these should all be the recommendation, those are in the sheriff's
Sheriff's
office,
office, yeah.
that you already signed.
None of these are the sheriff's office.
No, these are all just
Okay,
the
all right.
recommendation. But is that okay for you to sign what it says?
I have before, so I assume it's all right.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Perfect timing.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
We thought we were.
Brad, I get it hooked up on the laptop.
Is that what would be best, Brad? Throw my laptop?
Well, yeah.
My board, or you want me to jump around? How you doing? Get on your laptop?
Yes.
Door.
So, oh, good, yeah. Well, I'm moving, and so.
We're on a jump drive, but just take an extra minute, which I can.
Fire up TV.
Probably that one's battery, because I don't think it's gonna take too long. I'm like, next song. We're just gonna do without.
Do something first, though. I need to catch my hotspot.
There's a open,
There might be one.
there's an open. It's,
Yeah. I thought I got a few minutes. I don't know. So far, you guys are ready for me, right?
It's neat different out there.
What do you have on this? Which
Unless you want to jump.
Well, that's what I don't know. Am I gonna block you?
No, you won't, but I can move over here. Don't worry about me, Jesse.
So I'm just gonna run up this step right
Okay.
here. I'm just gonna use my, my button here. Yeah, that's perfect. So when we're ready, I'll, yeah.
Turn it to TV or turn it to good station?
Make sure it gets going and probably hide again.
Oops, got your mouth.
Hey, Don, you gonna make a motion to do SOS again?
I'm sorry.
Do we gotta make a motion to do SOS again? The $7,000?
You know, we can answer that question. When they've done budgets before, if we do an objective at the time, it just considered to be, in my opinion, we just done, if we don't object, don't want to negotiate, it just moves on until we take action on all of it. Now, we get an department heads where they come in, then we'll have, normally there's questions on some of that.
My deck, I did my stuff. I'm not taking. I had big projects because we bought the house, and see the original back, the board was starting to fail. And so I with grandkids, I'm like, I don't know anybody else on that deck. So my son-in-law and my son came over and ripped up the boards, the deck boards, and took off part of the rails, so we can, do that. Then I have a couple of companies, buddies, and their lines are coming out. We can help them finish it.
Okay.
So I'm a little sore. But,
Yeah.
but I like doing that kind of work. Because it's understanding.
Totally different. Yeah, that's not run off the server.
We got a lot of, we get Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I appreciate my son. He's really just a long time.
I'm watching
It's just
semi.
It's a little bit of sloppy, but I'm gonna be fine.
No.
Exactly. Well, maybe I see how it is.
Yeah, they've been tuned, modified.
Oh, yeah, they weren't just normal roads.
On Watsonville, Minnesota, and they got what they call farm class, which is the steepest farm class. Washington, good money. I'd like to see
We're done to finish the first line, all the.
low, tell you where it's gonna go on that flush.
Traffic flow and,
Right.
like they see all the city council, in August.
So then we got that here.
Yes.
That's
No farm
right.
truck, no.
And August, okay, we're gonna jump up to the city engineer deal. We'll have to take 30 minutes an hour.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, they can sometimes.
It's just that it's more than, you know,
well, that's what I was saying.
she was out.
You have to run your stop or what?
That's what So anyway, she gets in and goes out to eat and stuff. That's what we planned.
You can do anything you want.
I've got two injections.
That's what I figured.
Oh, my goodness.
How do you tell you that?
Yeah.
You're using a lot of nothing. You just don't promote it anymore. Back in the day, you had to.
What I find is, the longer that you're married, the less conflict. For the muscles that you get, don't you?
I think we're finished up with our break. Angie's not here, but she'll be here very shortly. We have CNF Engineering's going to have a presentation here for the community planning update that all of our cities went through here in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So, Jim?
Good deal.
Okay, and I'm sorry.
It's Saban.
I can't remember your first name.
Saban Inez,
Okay.
Senior Vice President of CFS. Good to be back with you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Don, appreciate it. And Jim is gonna handle the bulk of this as our project manager, but, we've had with COVID aside, we've had a good, run of getting through several of the phases and, meetings, and we're gonna give you an update. Jim's gonna give you an update of what we've accomplished so far and what lays ahead as we move into the final phases of the project. But it's been a pleasure getting to know many of the people in your community. There's been some great citizens who are very interested in what goes on in this county and improvements. So that's kind of been a pleasure for us to deal with in the public meeting. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jim.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Jim.
Hello.
Last time I seen you was at the Leroy Community Center, so.
Yeah, that was my second to last trip. Gridley was the last trip. So yeah, so if I could have about 7 minutes of presentation time, but if there's any questions, interrupt at any point. I have about 10 slides or so. And can you hear me from whether I'm moving around a little bit? All right. So as Saban said, we've ultimately put this into 3 phases of work. And so I'm gonna go through these 3 phases with you, just kind of quick reminder where we're at. Phase 1 started with our kickoff meeting in front of you in October. And ultimately had a couple of board and commission meetings there that then quickly ran into our workshops with each of the different city councils. Those went from November to January, which kind of see in the right, not necessarily supposed to read it, we had initial findings. Each of the workshops for city council, we worked through about 6 main concepts, ideas, from community identity to mobility, infrastructure, utilities, economy, quality space, land use, stuff like that. And so we were able to identify and kind of summarize meeting minutes from each of these different things. The point of those were to kind of generate ideas, initial thoughts, or visions, or whatever that we could bring to the community to kind of kickstart. And those were all very successful, and that's all been documented and available. All those different meeting minutes that occurred. In phase 2, we went then to the different 6 communities. These are the dates of our visits, which typically included Wayne, myself, Saban, and even some of your leadership. At these different meetings, we had a lot of excitement. These are the people that signed in the surveys. Not everyone had to fill out a survey. But ultimately, we started seeing some good results. I think one of the successes of that was, and I wish I would have timed it, but every person that attended the visit was there for at least 40 minutes. We had the people that showed up were very interested, had a lot of ideas, and really did spend a quality amount of time at those meetings, diving through and working through that process. As you all know, it included both why are you here board, then here's what we've heard already, but then some different exercises. This one represents
from Gridley, the exercise of, vote the dots. The one on the left is, kind of you agree, disagree, or pondering was what we've changed the title on that right one to be, as well as some kind of community ideas, helping to identify some of the priorities there in Gridley. As you see, the very last one, H, was new housing is needed, was clearly the most important for that community. But each of these cities, we have similar images and photos of the different vote the dot exercises. We also then had what I think was some of the best success was actually in the mapping exercises. We had 4 different maps of each of the communities where we talked about infrastructure, mobility, land use, recreation, and then additional wants and where do you live. And in essence, trying to record and understand if we had the city was represented across the entire city limits, but also giving people those opportunities. These are in the process of different communities being recorded and kind of drafted into a report. But again, this is an example of Gridley and some of the notes. You can't see necessarily all the colors and the writing and stuff like that that's in there, but it was full of ideas. We really did have some exciting participation. The survey results, as I said, we did a 7-question survey and then got other suggestions. We've begun to tally those suggestions as well, for those ideas. Anything from we'd love to have restaurants to, is an internet an issue or not? Flooding, yes, no, maybe. It definitely did relate back to some of the boards, some of the mapping exercises, but we have this result and we have tallied these scores, these ideas. So where we're at now is really the end of phase 2 and the start of phase 3. And so where we're kind of, this meeting today is really kind of helping me make sure we're setting the direction for the next phase, this final phase, phase 3. We're in the process of documentation. We're going to say, I specifically am going to write this document, take all this information and create it into some of the things we're going to show you in a second, to define what I've heard, pull that documentation into a pretty, graphic. There's some drone photos, there's some of these hand-drawn ideas and stuff like that, and really put that together. Then we'll overlay that with what we're calling this creative financing strategy, and then kind of confirm a schedule and additional presentations. So going a little further into that, this is an example. Once I've taken all the ideas, I then start to, I will take the first run at this with Dave and myself, and Wayne. We will be kind of taking these ideas as identified projects and put them in a short-term, mid-term, and long-term tasks. This will be probably one of the things that the different cities are going to be most interested in. What are the projects that came out of our conversations and the county conversations? And then where do we see these short-term, mid-term, long-term? So these are, kind of example of what you would see. And then ultimately the financing strategy then comes on the overlay. So we start to say if some of these projects have potential creative funding solutions associated with some of the dollars that are available through KDOT and other different dollars. We're trying to identify right now what are the different monies that can be put in place. We definitely need to go to the KDOT website, look at the local bureau of local projects and kind of understand what funding sources are coming through there. But ultimately, we are at this process, or we'll really dive into this. This phase 3 is really looking for those solutions and how they can mesh up well with the different projects. I'm talking really fast, so my 7 minutes is maybe only 4. But ultimately, the schedule that we're at, and kind of to finish this project is for the most part shown here. We're here at the end of May. We're kind of in the draft report creation environment. I'm going to give Wayne a copy of this draft report on June 28th. They'll have a week to review it, and you guys get it 1st of July. You'll have a couple weeks to look at it. I'll come back to you after you've had a couple weeks to kind of dive in and digest this thing. I'm proposing July 26th is that Monday. If that works with you and your budget cycles. to be able to meet that day after you've had a couple weeks to review the document. And then based on your blessing, we will go to we'll be scheduling the city council presentations in August, or maybe rolls in the end of September, beginning of September. But ultimately giving them a couple weeks prior to the meetings, review the document, specifically their section, their city, and then again, after all presentations, kind of blending those comments into a final report that I would then perhaps present to you on October 4th. So that's kind of how I see this kind of coming together. I'm gonna take a breath real quick before we talk about budget cycle for a second to see if there's any questions, because I felt like it just raced too fast, and I apologize for
Yeah,
that.
my question is, why is Wayne reviewing this for a week? I mean, it's commission's decision.
I just, Wayne I've been using Wayne as my advocate for you. He has so much understanding about what projects, funding sources, what has been successful. He understands the budget, and he's trying to provide me information about the budget right now. I just want to have his knowledge, his experience of what will be successful, or what we're finding is some of these projects are more city projects. Some of them could be county, or maybe they're multiple cities and the county might have an interest, maybe not. And so he's going to be able to help me with that. No, that's really a city project. The county has no jurisdiction over that kind of thing. And so having some review of that is why I think it's important. Now, if I'm wrong, sorry, Wayne, you're out. And we'll push the whole schedule up a week or two. Bob, did I answer your question? Does that make sense, or?
You answered it, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely think we need a point person. And was for submitting these projects, whether it's city or county or a combination thereof, there needs to be a point person, and it's all gonna be dealing with infrastructure most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, Wayne's probably the right point person to work with you. And we need to be working as a team anyway.
Yeah.
Even though he's a point person, we're still here as a team, so.
Well, and it's 2 weeks enough, because I could definitely push July 1st, July 7th up to July 1st to give you 3 weeks or whatever, multiple times. That is in the middle of summer. There is 4th of July. I was kind of coming right behind the 4th of July holiday, to not over that bad, but, and this is, draft for conversation. Well, let me wrap up real quick, and then we'll open up for more detailed questions. So then really, I'm encouraging you guys to think about the budget cycle. And really the question is there any low-hanging fruit? Is there anything dollars that you could possibly see as available to kind of have ready or available January 1st, 2022 that might be able to kickstart this? We don't really lose a year. And so as you guys are in your June right now, discussions going into July and August publication, is there any low-hanging fruit, anything that you think might be something that you want to allocate some dollars or have as available? This bullet these bullets are kind of some of the ideas that are culminating as maybe low-hanging fruit. A couple studies related to a county-wide loop trail that was actually one of the more exciting projects that I heard about from a couple different cities, using old railroads right away, or just the creeks and corridors and trails and whatever else to really connect to the Prairie Spirit Trail and bring that loop in through the county. You'll hear more about that, but that sounds really amazing as an idea. That 4 of the cities are thinking about. But ultimately some of these other things. So I just throw it out there, maybe this month of June coming up, there's some dollars that you want to allocate to really have a kickoff project for this in the new year. Something about. With that, I'm a fast talker. I apologize, but I can skip back to any of the initial But my point of being here today was trying to, say, okay, I think we're kind of in essence done with the listening sessions. We've gone through a couple rounds of that, and really I'm working now with Saban and Wayne and all the notes and stuff like that to really pull that together and make a pretty document you guys can be proud of and start to showcase this.
You had a pretty good time frame there to work with, Jim. Is it something, because of the importance of it, is it something that may be expedited instead of stretching it all the way out to October? Could it be expedited a little bit quicker?
So, the cities I lost time, for whatever reason, but schedule, I can have a draft report to you guys a lot, like I said, I had a draft report to you July 7th, could I have that 2 weeks early? Or very much so. But I want to have the cities to review it and scheduling them, and some of their meetings are the same night. So that means I miss 2 weeks to a month based on them being the same night. That's why September and August, September were kind of a flow kind of thing. But yeah, we can expedite. We've generated a lot of information. We're at that creative financing strategy of kind of looking and calling and finding those dollars to help support and make some of these projects easier to get your arms around. That's kind of, it's not, for me, it's, I can give you the list of projects and ideas that came out fairly quickly, but then, I think there's more to it than that.
Yeah. Well, the actual budget process will happen here in the next couple of months. And correct me, Angie, if I need to be corrected. But, we have funding that goes into some different areas, but if there's a priority comes up for the county or the cities or whatever it may be, I'm sure we could, do some moving around the funding to make something happen. It was a key, if it's a very, very key project. And just like I mentioned a while ago, Wayne would be a good point person in my mind. Also need to have Bobby tied into it, because a lot of this planning and the infrastructure, to me, the infrastructure almost needs to go hand in hand with what the economic development director might be able to provide for us and new opportunities. So it's, like I said, it's a big teamwork.
Yeah, no,
Can I turn the lights back on?
Yeah.
we probably need to have a draft to you fairly soon. Just at the same time that Wayne gets a draft, you can get a draft as well and start to look at that as,
Yeah, to that, the only reason I was gonna comment was, in our early discussions with Wayne, we know that in your budgeting process, there's a certain amount of budget that goes to the cities on an annual basis, and then some of these projects, as we start to put them in the right groups, I'll call it, you're correct. We had already begun a little bit of a dialogue about if that's the case, how do we represent that best to you all so that can be taken forward. But we think there are some opportunities there. Just trying to understand your budgets a little bit more before we make that recommendation.
Any additional questions?
A lot of information.
Wayne and Bobby, you're involved in this a little bit, one way or the other. Do either one of you have anything to bring before the commission at this time on some of your thoughts?
Well,
I know Wayne was at the Leroy meeting, probably at all of them, but
I did miss a couple. I just conflict as far as scheduling, but one thing I'd like to compliment Cook Flat is basically their willingness to go through and continue to work on the project with the COVID. The COVID has been a real challenge for not only us, but for this project, because once this project started, actually then COVID kicked in. So there was a lot of time that we were not able to meet just because of that. And so Jim had always pushed forward and said, hey, let's go ahead and have a meeting, and then getting with the cities and then trying to have the cities say if they could meet or not meet because of the mask requirements and different things like that. So I applaud all the efforts from Cook, Flat, and Strobel to basically continue to work on the project. Meeting with all the cities, there was a lot of, for the folks that showed up, there was a lot of positive energy of a lot of different ideas. And that's some of the low-hanging fruit that you see, some of the examples as far as short-term, mid-term, long-term, that come from those meetings. And so It was really nice to see. It was really nice to see. Now, how you go about it or where we're at, that's what they're gonna propose, from this. So, I thought it was very positive, but I'd say also too, one of the things, that you have, and I think this is something Bobby's working on, is the broadband. I think Bobby's working a little bit on broadband. So that's a big one too. You're gonna have some of this COVID money that's gonna be available for some of this. That's all part of this as well. And so, it's exciting, but I'd also say too, there is a possibility when we're talking about budget, you might not know exactly what project you're gonna earmark money for, but I just have a suggestion at this point would be to say, if you'd actually look at your budget and say, okay, is there a way that we can put more money towards, say, community development within the county of Broad? And I know you have a budget item for that, but if you could take a look at that, because when you're looking at like the citywide storm study or sidewalks and different things like that, yes, each city is responsible for their own infrastructure, but also too, if there are those type of projects, if we earmark maybe just a little bit more, we might see more of those projects develop within our community. And that's all I'm asking, because at this point, yes, it is going to be a little tight, but if you'd also set aside some of that money, it's going to make it easier to even apply for Bureau of Local Projects fund. If you recall, Mike Stringer had done that presentation, and he has a whole list of project funding. Some of it's 50-50, some of it's 80-20, and so those are funds. So it'd be like earmarking some of this money for matching funds. That could be very beneficial countywide. And so that's all I would have, but I compliment Cook Flat for all their work and efforts coming down. It's quite the undertaking, and you're definitely getting your money's worth at this point. So
I would add one thing to what Wayne's talking about budgets, and that is we've been tracking, like many of you, for quite a bit of time, this COVID stimulus federal dollars that are coming out through the states to the cities and counties. As we do work both in Kansas and Missouri. And the guidelines of those, I've been tracking this, kind of falls into my responsibility, but the guidelines coming from Washington have been changing. They're creating more broad categories for the expenditures of those dollars as those come to you. And to this point, really, the states have only dealt with the dollars that were passed in 2020. So we still, even the $1.3 trillion federal bill that was done in March, those dollars have not been allocated or are distributed to most states, counties, because they're still working on these guidelines. To that end, on the broadband is clearly a category that these funds can be used for. Also, clearly too, up now is water, stormwater, and sewer. So as you look at those funds and how those are going to be used in your county, those are some other opportunities that could allow some funding to be leveraged to help some of these projects move forward.
Okay, anybody have any follow-up? We appreciate what you're doing for the project for Coffee County and our cities, and look forward to hearing back from you here in the near future.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for being here, making your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good. You can contact me anytime for questions or comments.
You can punch the right button, Jess. The right button. Okay, we're gonna move back to Economic Development Director, Bobby Skipper. Wade gonna be able to join us, Bobby, or what guidance do we have from him?
He said he would, and he's still just a few minutes away. If the commission has not taken a break yet, as scheduled, if the commission would oblige for the break and come back, and then I'll forward Mr. Wade Bowie time to appear.
Well, we could do a short, of course, Wade needs to be here for part of our roundtable, but we could do roundtable real quick if anybody had anything where Wade wouldn't have to be involved. Tim, you got anything?
Yes, I would like permission or Andrea contacted Jim Ogle with the Frontier Heritage area, and he would be able to come down on Wednesday, since we're gonna be meeting, and address us on Wednesday. We'd need to contact him and get him down, if that's possible.
What's everybody's thoughts on that? I think it is a subject we need to be a lot more versed on, or what I am anyway. I've done public reading, but the more reading you do, the more, to the point you almost get more confused.
Yes. I'd like for him just to come down and see, give us some details on it.
Please, case.
Yes.
Is this the other person?
This is Jim Ogle with the Freedom Frontier.
Okay. He contacted me to be set on the agenda, but then he had some appointments he didn't make, and he was supposed to get back with me.
He's having trouble making it on Monday,
Okay.
so this would be on Wednesday.
Invite Jim Ogle down to explain. Everybody okay with that? Just have him be here. Well, he could show up anytime between, 9 or 10, but we need to have a time to work, Angie to work with.
I'm just gonna go call and see what time works for him.
That's what would work.
9:30.
I figure we'll probably be here till noon anyway, more likely.
Well, if we're in an executive session, we'd probably be gone with that.
Well, it just happens.
I'll just back up on roundtable. Angie, we just gotta do it while we're waiting on Wade. If it's something Wade doesn't have to be involved. You got anything for us today, Angie?
I do. I've got a couple things. Just wanted to let you guys know, we are handing out the open enrollment forms for health insurance and benefits to all employees and department heads. And I have given you a copy of yours today. The memo that we have attached with everything explains the 5% decrease for all employees. And each employee will have approximately 2 weeks from today to get everything filled out and back to us. One is the benefit management health insurance form, and explaining if they want to keep the same coverage, or if they want to change it, or if they want to waive it. So the instructions are there under A. And then for the flexible spending insurance benefits direct, they want all employees to contact them directly to set up an appointment if they want to add, change, or do anything with that, or they can go online and do it themselves. And there's also a flyer explaining that. And then if any employees need assistance, they are certainly welcome to contact the clerk's office and talk to Denise or myself. So that, all those pieces are going out today.
Okay.
And then,
And like that, it's all back in 2 weeks,
yes, by June 7th.
June 7th.
And,
And that's stated here in this letter, so.
yeah. And then the other thing I had a question on was on pay for Andrea. Are we going to be paying the same 80% at courthouse general and 20% from the county attorney's budget? We don't know. We haven't heard yet on how we're supposed to do that.
To my knowledge, unless I forgot, we haven't discussed that. So what the right procedure is and what we need to do, Angie, I can't answer.
So at this point, we'll just pay out of courthouse general. If we need to go back and do a journal entry, we can do that to split the pay. The other question we had was on Carl Lee for emergency management. Are we going to be reimbursing him for Woodson County pay like we did Russell and the same amount?
As of right now, no, we haven't made a decision.
Okay,
And no, to my knowledge, no decision's been made on that yet.
okay,
And my thought was, the answer is no, but
okay,
it needs to have some follow-up discussion, it appears.
okay. Those were the only things I had. We just want to make sure we're getting ready to run payroll, so we want to make sure we're paying correctly.
So you got enough, right now, you got enough information
Yes.
for Ed
Yes.
with the payroll for the month of May.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Tim, do you have anything else, Tim?
No.
Yes,
I don't have anything, to my knowledge.
well, and I don't have anything else either, other than we will recess to Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, so. Andrew, do you have anything to bring forward?
No, nothing.
Okay. So that was short.
And
Now we're back waiting on Bobby and Wade.
fiber board meeting tomorrow.
What?
I have a fiber board
Okay.
meeting tomorrow with
Okay.
Jesse. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess
I got it on hand.
Burlington,
Prior to the
School
meeting
board.
today, our new salary schedule, if I've seen it, I've misplaced it, but this has all the 22 steps in it. Has all the 9 or 10 or 11 different categories, so my suggestion is, kind of keep it handy when we have new hires or transfers within a given time frame. It gives us something to fall back on very quickly, so.
Yes, I like that.
I'm not sure who prepared this, Andrea or
That was prepared by
From-
Lisa.
Lisa or you, Angie, but, appreciate getting that. Getting this, and we need to file this where it's readily available.
Did we ever address I've still got it in my folder, the $16,000 for what is it?
Over.
Goldberg
Yes.
study? We finished that?
Yeah, we decided on that about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago to go ahead and final pay that, Jesse. That was one we talked about, pre-plan before it's totally finished and the decision was made to proceed with it, so. Tim, is Jim Ogle, have you ever met him?
No, I haven't.
Is he the one that's involved in livestock? That Ogle family is a big livestock operator, out west. And Superior Livestock Sale.
I can't answer that.
There is a Jim Ogle there. I just wonder if there's.
I'll do some
I
searching.
wonder if there's some connection.
I don't know.
There's 2 or 3 Ogles involved in the livestock stuff. And Ogle's kind of an unusual name.
Yes, it is.
Heard anything from Wade?
No, sir, and I certainly don't wish to press them more than once myself, but the commission may ask somebody to give him a call. He is in the courthouse, I'll say that.
Pardon?
He is in the courthouse, I'll say that. In the vicinity.
Some of his phone calls get pretty lengthy, so.
I've always been known, you don't irritate the attorney
That's right,
or the counselor.
that's right. That's right.
If anybody needs to take a 5 minutes, since we're pretty well finished, other than that, unless Wade's got some executive session, we can take another 5-minute break if you'd like to before Wade shows up.
That works.
And if you want to fill out those health insurance forms and return them today,
I'll do that before I
you should do that too.
You bring us some samples, Brad.
So this one, they're asking to go online.
The other one, this one,
Okay.
keep saying if you want,
Yes, it's been 4 short months and I'm not gonna change it.
Okay. Don, you were asking about Jim Ogle and maybe being involved in some cattle. This Jim Ogle, he used to be the general manager of WIBW. And before that, he
Okay.
was from
That,
Lexington.
I've heard that name, Jim Ogle, tied to WIBW too. And I bet it already tied to the Ogles out west. But I could be dead wrong. There is a Jim Ogle, so general manager up there.
Okay, I was like, I know that name sounded familiar from someplace else.
Yeah. I think he's tied to WIBW.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm into, and I looked at this drop down box, and you have these options. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I don't either. I don't either. Give them opportunity. You maybe they got a project.
I don't know if you use your ID.
Have you signed in before?
Mhm.
I have to create one.
No.
It'll be just down, so.
I don't remember what it was. We recognized that.
Don, Jim's gonna be here at 9:30 on Wednesday.
Jim, 9:30 on Wednesday. Yes, thank you. Well, hopefully Tom will be back at that time, and if not, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Just in Miami County,
He says there's.
Have you got a record of anyone
Do you have that?
specific email address? I guess not.
I mean, it's, unless I have plenty extra tax and
Yeah.
into
Today. I'm done.
Jordan, last Jordan, actually. You put a stoplight now, that's on the hill. And before that, you know, all the new house, it's a new development.
There's houses galore out there.
Oh, there exists some part on this one.
They're not cheap homes either.
So, I think that's listening to the.
See, if you could buy a neighbor, how many homes can you put on it? You buy it for $40,000. I don't know how many lots you're.
Especially up there, they're that far.
I don't know how many lots you're, of course, the developer's going in and developing it, so he's not worried about lots.
So this does not include the department
You're
heads?
buying the structure, you're not buying the land. How much can you put in there? And it's-
that there is.
Has this been updated since
Yes.
all the changes?
What's the date on that? Anything?
125,
Yeah.
which I think we went through department head stuff after that.
You did, is that on there?
Yeah, and I don't think it's right.
Oh, it may not be.
If that's that pay, the actual steps, that's the one that Lisa emailed me last week.
Right, that's just,
Oh, okay, that's
I was
not-
talking about department heads.
Oh, okay.
That one, you might have to look for and see if you have
The updated version of that.
with Brad on there, or you might need to update it for Brad.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I had too, is one.
Well, and also we had the treasurer was increased too. Some,
Right. And I
so
don't have
this,
that
this
updated.
page here wouldn't be correct.
Right, yeah, that's what I have too, is that, so I have to get that updated.
No, we don't. I don't know how you close it. How you- And it'd have to be,
About 8. If I remember right.
I feel like they took us, they they said, okay, they're gonna take all the cans, and they just started pushing all the cans. So,
I'm glad. But you know, it's awesome.
Was Carl needing to talk to us? I know he's
No, he
stuck his
was,
head in a couple times.
he was looking for me to give him a date on upcoming hearing,
I'm sorry.
upcoming hearing, employee hearing. That's what he wanted to talk to me about. A date and time on an upcoming employee hearing
Well, he's asking about that.
for me.
We'll wait on that, please.
Right, but he was just getting a time. We have to put a time.
Yeah, you can see those beyond the week for. And north, you can see it long way. You won't stay there, then.
They don't have any up there. Yeah, right, there's city, I'd like to see that. What I used to do, I really understand some 2 weeks, but they was off. And that's when we were using all the energy. Exactly. 2 years. And real physical. No, mine did either. 50%.
Patience, patience.
Is Wayne in a meeting or on telephone?
I believe he's with the sheriff on a criminal matter.
More. Thank you. I bet girl. No wonder I heard about you were talking about it. Yeah, sorry. I don't know more. He comes to the office, builds it up. He's built. No. I tell you what, I never thought that the downfall for the airports. I never would have something that I would approve of, stuff like I ever thought that the downfall. Really, India is a possibility.
Mr. Don, if you would like to, you could go ahead and call the others back in, and I'll just ask for a conditional proposal.
Okay,
So that,
it's something we don't need to wait for?
that's correct. You won't need to wait right now.
I'm sorry?
You won't need to wait right now, no, sir.
Could you revisit it on Wednesday?
Yes, that's what I'm gonna ask for, is that, what I intend to propose is.
I'm having a hard time picking you up.
I'm sorry, what I intend to propose is that the commission, generally, I certify that, our attorney has already vetted this document, that I wish to be executed, and that, I would ask the commission to approve this document pending, the county council's review and approval, and his, recommendation on Wednesday for you to execute. That's about what I'd like to propose right now.
Okay, go ahead and get that out of the road, so we wouldn't need to wait for that.
Yes, sir.
Do we need to wait for anything later?
No, sir.
No, okay.
All you're doing is approving him to, review it
Review it.
and recommend that you execute on Wednesday.
Go ahead, execute.
Yeah.
Paper, with the approval to move forward. So this will expedite things a little bit. Oh, I'm sure about that, yeah. Okay, we're back in session. Bobby
Yes, sir.
Skipper is our economic director for Coffee County, so.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry for the inconvenience this morning, but our county council must be tied up on another matter. So I would propose to the commission that I certify that our attorney has reviewed and vetted this, what you have before you. And I ask the commission to approve this agreement pending your county attorneys or county council's approval and recommendation that you execute at a later date, which will be Wednesday when the commission meets again. That way you won't have to, I won't have to seek formal approval again.
Does any of this need to be read, session?
At this point, I think it's you're referring to it as Project B.
Okay, we'll just refer to Project B. I've already had the opportunity to look at it very quickly. I know it was handed to us this morning, and I've read the first 2 or 3 pages, so.
I've got some concerns about this. And I don't know how to address them, but.
This would provide, and this is, the attorney just messaged back. This would provide time for your questions to be answered by the attorney. If you were to give that conditional approval based upon his review and certificate of approval.
Can I visit with you a minute?
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm gonna recommend that we not take no action and table this whole issue till Wednesday.
So Wednesday? And I have no problem with that either. Does that work for you, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
Because technically, even though we did something today with Project B, we wouldn't be doing anything officially until Wednesday anyway.
Yes, sir.
So that's probably a good suggestion, just table everything until Wednesday and make Wade fully aware that we're gonna need him for some discussion Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
And we are set up at 9:30 for Jim Ogle.
Yes, sir.
Now, how long his presentation will take, I don't know. But, so probably need to set Wade up sometime in that 10 o'clock range or so,
Yes, sir.
or anytime thereafter.
Very good.
Anything else for us, Bobby?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
Was there any questions?
Okay. Anybody got any current questions? Okay, if not, we'll see. Probably ought to.
Very good.
Yeah. This is,
I'll collect them here shortly.
You say one back?
Yeah.
Tom must not have one. Angie, I'll get these to you, send that.
Is Tom gonna be here Wednesday?
I'm sorry?
Is Tom gonna be here Wednesday?
I just understand he's a little under the weather, that's all I know, Jesse. So I assume if everything works out, yeah.
He needs sunshine.
Andrew, you know if Wade has anything for,
I've not been made aware of anything.
would you please see if you can touch base with him?
Say what?
See if we can, because right now, we don't have anything before the commission, so we're ready to adjourn or recess
Okay.
until Wednesday. And Wednesday might be quick enough for him. If he does have something.
And can you wait to adjourn? Denise has a CP2 she needs you to sign.
we'll recess, we won't be adjourned.
Or
Recess.
wait to recess for a minute. Hold off on recessing.
Okay.
Oh, never mind, she said. Okay. They need to adjourn, so. Okay, thanks. He must be involved deeply in whatever it is, so I just don't think he has anything to say.
And we need to set tight and reach until we get,
No, she just said, never mind.
so we can go ahead and recess.
Yep.
Anybody have anything else to come before the commission this morning? Okay, we'll recess until we meet once again Wednesday, the 26th at 9 o'clock.
Time to recess.
Gonna recess
11:05.
11:05. That's about 2 minutes slow. Recess 11:05. You got the rest of the,
Thank you so much.
Andrew, you know how to shut that off?
I know.
I don't.
I can get a hammer and shut it off.
No, that would be mine.
I have no idea.